Hi family, how you doing? This is More Holistic, your vegan goddess. You're probably wondering, where have I been for all this time? Well, I've been thinking about you. I've been doing a lot of research. You've been on my mind, always on my mind. So now I'm back with some good information, and I want to talk about some ancient stuff that maybe everybody would be interested in. But this particularly those who are classified as black women, highly melanated women with tightly coiled hair or coiled hair, the Aboriginal people of the planet, the first people of the planet that the Creator made, according to science, research, anthropology, archaeology, and many other things, which I'm sure a lot of you already know this, but this is what I'm here to. Oh, wow, it's getting stuck again. Okay, but I'm going to proceed because for some reason this thing's always gets stuck. What I'm going to talk about is Cheikh Anta Diop's two-cradle theory of the southern cradle and northern cradle. And he states that humanity's culture and conduct are formed by their prospective environments. And this concept explains the origins of white racism. Now, the southern tropical produced what we could say is a peaceful people and high morality and advanced civilizations. And the southern cradle had a lot of these traits came from their environment, since it was warm and tropical and hot. And everything was there in abundance, like you could just put your arm's length out. You got coconuts, you got mangoes, you got all kind of fresh fruits. You don't have to go out and trap things down. There's no scarcity. So they developed the traits of the matriarchy. There they go again. The matriarchy, which is women-centered. It's not like people think, the cartoon character that women are dominating over men and they're beating them up and telling them what to do. It's not that. Matriarchy only means mother, matriarchy, woman-centered. Like matrimony. Okay, the whole concept of marriage comes from the matriarchy. So it did exist, and it did exist in the tropical areas, as equatorial, basically, when you say tropical, equatorial cradle. And from this, the traits that developed, the peaceful people were peaceful, egalitarian, meaning that people had equal rights and believed in everybody having looked upon as the same. And also, since they had so much plenty, they were, of course, hunter-gatherers, but they advanced on, since they had so much plenty, they could be more sedentary. Once they became sedentary, they were able to develop agriculture, domestication of animals, and etc. And there was abundance. They were very hospitable, very welcoming to strangers, which was one of the flaws of Africa and of the tropical areas like India. The Aboriginal people of India were black, African. Their hair texture may have been different. But because they were invaded by the Aryans from the northern cradle, which is Central Asia, by the Caucasus Mountains. So let's get into a little bit of what the northern cradle, northern, which is the Arctic cradle. This is up there, in Caucasus Mountains, Central Asia, over there by the Black Sea and everything. I know you heard about the Ice Age, Iceman inheritance. Now, the northern cradle people, the Arctic people, who got caught in the Ice Age, they developed these characteristics due to the climate. A very harsh climate. Harsh climate conditions produce a very harsh, violent, barbaric people. And that's what they're known for. And this is out of this system came patriarchy. Oh my goodness, look at this shit. Out of this system came patriarchy and violence. They were very warring people. But you have to understand that if you have to live in a cave and you have a short growing period, there's scarcity, and a lot of scarcity makes people very, desperate and violent and just got to have it. And they develop this type of hateful behavior and xenophobia. Xenophobia is a fear of strangers. So out of that xenophobia, that was a proto-racism, being afraid of something that's different from you. And also out of that came the ethnocentrics. like saying that your race is so much better than everybody else and you're the greatest and the wonderful and the best of all. Of course, everybody wants to be ethnocentric, but they took it to a very high level. Boy. But, so that is like the prototype of white racism as we know. It goes way back. And they're very individualistic, that is why capitalism came out of that type of mentality. And they were like the Southern cradle, since they were surrounded by plants and stuff, they were plant-based. If they did eat meat or hunt, they didn't do the large, big animals, but basically plant-based. And the and the Northern cradle, the Arctic region, became very meat-based because up there, nothing can grow as far as, plants and whatnot and farming and everything because of the glacier and it lasted so long. And they would have a temperature of like minus 400 degrees. You imagine being in that type of environment. So once they were able to get out of there, the ice melted, hordes of them come rushing down south. But before that time, they were very nomadic. They just roamed all over the place looking for food, hunting, everything. And the women, the pale woman didn't have a home. Her home was basically the wagon. And she was seen as just a sexual object to be a breeder. So that's why patriarchy developed from the Northern cradle, the Arctic people, Europe, all up in that area. So what's the funniest thing now, a lot of, I would say, men of color say they want to be the head of household, but if you look at it traditionally and from its origins, that's not what was a part of the original indigenous cultures. It was more matriarchy and a teamwork of getting along together. But since they've been conquered by the barbarians, by the Arctic people, they have adopted and identified with the patriarchal system that the man should be ruled over the head of the household and telling everybody what to do and being just oppressive brute. They got that from them and they identify with them and they feel that that's normal because after 500 years and your true history, who you really are, has been hidden from you, you'll think that this system is normal and it came from you. And then plus when all your religions, which have been controlled by the dominators, and they have taken over the religions and rewritten them and plagiarized them into this patriarchal, God is the head of household and God is the one ruler, so I should be the head of a household. That is so erroneous because some of the greatest, most wonderful, advanced civilizations were formed under the Black, African, highly melanated, Aboriginal matriarchy, which means woman-centered. Women are looked upon and adored. And, the men adore them and they work as a team and he doesn't try to dominate her and mistreat her. And he has his place in the family. He takes care of the children. He's a part of the family. This is what our ancient cultures were. And from these cultures, you get the most highly advanced civilization. However, as I said before, it's like a story. Once the ice melted, a cold wind from the north comes down and these invading hordes of pale people go into the southern cradle or the tropical or the equatorial regions, and they invade and usurp the culture. They don't bring a culture. They usurp it, take what they want from it, and, take it over. Just like in India, it used to be of all black culture, and the Aryans, the white skin now, which they call them the Brahmins, come in there. There was already a caste system, but it was based on the African labor system. It wasn't have anything to do with color, but they actually formed it as the first codified, documented white racist colors code system. And it was based on skin color because it's called Varna. Look it up, Varna, which means skin, color, tone. It was based on color because that's the people they call now the Dravidians. I think that's a derogatory name, but I think the Tamil, they call them the Tamil. And they done such horrible things to them. They would boil water, hot oil and pour in their ears and in their mouths. And if they spoke something that was against, the Brahmin, the higher caste, take long old hot iron nails and drive it through their mouths. They would have to wear something like a bib, iron bib around their mouth so their spit wouldn't drop on the higher caste. I mean, it's old, but they still practice it, and they still have a low position and very persecuted now for the very reason that they were black. So the light-skinned people of India are not the indigenous people of that, or the aboriginal people of northern India. They're the invaders from Iran, from the Arctic area, the northern cradle that was caught in the ice and, came down in hordes after the ice. And I guess it's a lot more to it, but that's what I'll go over right now. So basically, what the problem is that persons of African, Aboriginal descent, especially here in the United States, the term foundational Black Americans, that's not to be divisive, it's just as a descriptor. Those who come from the killing fields of North America that made United States so rich that everybody wants to come here and take advantage of the opportunity. And the opportunity is genocide, enslavement, rape, where you divvy up all this wealth. That's what you're coming to take advantage of. So yeah, come on in and just take advantage of the great opportunities. That's what is meant by that. So the persons of foundational Black American descent in the United States suffer from 4 deadly diseases: heart attacks, diabetes, cancers, obesity at a higher rate than any other ethnic group in America. And 42% of African Americans, foundational Americans, Aboriginal, descendants of slaves, descendants of American slave, whatever name you want to put on it, because everybody's fighting over the name and the label. But we all in the same situation, in the same boat, suffering the same stuff. So whatever label you want to put on it. We suffer from a very poor environment, and it's environmental racism, and all this is from the consequences of racism, white supremacy, and it's the cause of all these developments of the diseases that affect us so more higher proportions. So basically what it is that anciently we were the plant-based people. Everybody think, vegan is a white thing, and something new somebody in England draw up. Now England was, they were the oppressors and the dominators that went all over the world colonizing everybody. And then all of a sudden, this guy in the 40s and 50s, I forgot his name, said they're going to be vegan. So how are you going to be vegan when people that you have colonized and enslaved was already plant-based? So it's very, very, very misleading. That's what's so funny about it. We were the plant-based people, and they were the eaters of raw meat, eating each other in cannibalism. We never had cannibalism. There's no documented evidence to say that we were cannibals, but when they make up the Tarzan movies and all these lies and concepts and propaganda, which is basically mental warfare against us, and say all these things. And now is, according to statistics, we eat more, foundational Black Americans, let me get that one right, Aboriginal, Africans of African descent, highly melanated with tightly coiled hair, highly pigmented with tightly coiled hair, people that look like me are darker or lighter, in that range now. I don't want to leave anybody out because I know everybody's fighting over the name and what we call ourselves, but you understand what I'm saying, right? So it's like it's all flipped. The original people were the plant-based people, peaceful people, and these warring, pale, no-color people come in hordes and start to usurp the cultures. They didn't bring nothing. They didn't bring nothing but war, violence, rape, and filth, because they didn't know how to take baths or nothing like that. And to top that off, it's so ancient that we have a Kemetic king from Egypt. When I say Kemetic, I mean African, black. The Greeks called Egypt, it's in North Africa, they called it Egypt. But the original African, indigenous, or Aboriginal name was Kemet. Now there's a king. His name was, what's his name? Merkara, Merkara, of the 9th Kemetic dynasty. This was his words. He wrote this. He says, "Lo, the miserable Amu." That means the Aryans or the Indo-Europeans. Same thing. Or the pales, the pale fox, the pale people, the colorist people, whatever you want to call it. And Eurasians in Central Asia, which white people are, that's where they originated. They're not originally from Europe. The people, or Aboriginal people of old Europe, were black people because they populated the whole planet, okay, coming out of Africa. And a lot of people don't believe in that theory. They say we come from the stars and the moons. That's true too, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, sorry. Well, anyways, let me get back to the poem. He warned us. He said, "Lo, the miserable Amu. He is wretched because of the place he is in, short of water, bare of wood. Its paths are many and painful because of the mountains. He does not dwell in one place," meaning he's a nomad. And that's what imperialism about, when they go all over the world conquering everybody and dominating people and stealing their resources and bringing in their culture and their missionaries and all that crap. That comes from them roaming for them thousands of years, just roaming and eating and killing animals and, So now he does not dwell in one place. Food propels his legs. He fights since the time of Heru, which is, the god Heru, the sun god. He's been fighting since that time. He's been fighting. These are some worn, fighting people. So the point I'm trying to make, I know everybody want to be kumbaya and all happy. We all one family, but no, folks, it ain't like that. You can't be that way to these people. They're not going to be that way. So, everybody's, what do you call it? The critical race theory, and everybody scared of that. They scared of that because this is some of the stuff they don't want you to know, who they really are. But this is not for them. This is for you, to let you know that you are mighty, mighty people. And you say, well, what this got to do with anything? What it is, it's kind of like, I don't know who said this, but once you know who you are, you don't want to be anybody else. You don't want to put on a paste on a weave on your head or somebody else's hair texture. Because I see all the young girls just gluing all this stuff on their forehead. It's worrying me. I'm worried for them. I'm really worried. Just wear your natural hair. I don't care if it's really tight, short, or if it's long. But I know you want a variety. You can have a variety. People want, that's just my old opinion. What do I know? I'm an old person. What do I know? I know all the young people got all the answers, and you don't want to listen to somebody old. What do they know, right? What do they know? That's right. If you want to, thinking the guys will like you more because you're wearing somebody else's head, I don't have nothing to say. I understand. We all been brainwashed, constantly brainwashed since the time we were born, that white is good and black is bad and nappy, kinky hair is not good. And we get it. We get the messages. Like on TV, you get thousands and thousands and millions of messages saying that black is bad and white is good and white is white. That's why I see all the, the battle online. I know it's kind of like an online battle, the war of the sexes, of the black men hating the black women and the black women hating them. I understand all that because both parties have been brainwashed and under the influence of the dominators, or we can call them the dominators, or the people of the northern cradle, or the Arctic people, or the Iceman inheritance, all of that. Because they now rule over us, so they use their propaganda, which is psychological warfare. They don't put you in chains no more. They don't whip you, they don't hang you. They shoot you in the street, though. They'll come up and machine gun you. Yeah, that's going to get worse now, because basically it's saying that more the economy is out of whack, and inflation and gas prices and shortages, and since they're not giving birth, the more threatened they feel, and they're heavily armed and well organized. So there's 300 million weapons, and who has most of them, right? It ain't us, it's them. So they're heavily armed, very organized. So when they get ready to kill you, they can kill you, and the government won't stop them. They will not stop them because they want to get rid of you because you're a problem. That's how they see it, because they're xenophobic, meaning they fear strangers. Their fear of you and your existence is a threat to them. So that's what they're all about. I know a lot of men are marrying the white women, and the black women are so eager to marry the white men. But I mean, it's okay. I can't tell nobody what to marry, but I just don't get it. if you know your history and stuff, I know, situations like our men are all screwed up, and because we've been conquered and brainwashed, and we're now, and they have these patriarchal ideas, which, and technically, are not their ideas. They don't come from our culture. And I don't care what anybody says. You want to argue with me? You tell me about the Bible. The Bible is an afterthought. This is long before. This is the very, very beginning. So that's all I got to say. I've got a lot of more research to do, and I just want to share that with you. So, us foundational Black Americans, let me get back, highly pigmented people, Aboriginal people, African American, whatever name or whatever, where you are, ever you are, Negro, colored, Black, wherever you may be, you are the original plant-based people. You come from a matriarchy, a plant-based world. You didn't start eating meat like this until after they captured us and started invading our lands, whether it was in Africa or whether it would come onto the New World. We had a lot of more plant, a different whole perspective. We're totally opposite from them. We are the tropical people. We are the children of the sun. That's why it don't burn us up. The sun loves us. It don't burn your skin. You go out there right now. I'm almost 70. Where are the wrinkles at? Well, I mean, I got my wrinkles. Yeah, okay. I'm not a spring chicken. I realize that. And I'm not here to hurt anybody's feelings, although some people may be hurt. What I'm just here is to tell you the information I have found out, which, I've been knowing this a long time, but I just wanted to share that with you so that you'll know that you are somebody. You come from a long, long history from, millions of years, and you come from a matriarchal system, which was a very peaceful, prosperous system. It wasn't like, the women beating up the guys and telling them what to do. It was a very teamwork type of system, just the woman was honored and respected. But what actually happened, I think somewhere along there, in there somewhere, I can't place it exactly where it is, the men became jealous of the women having all this power and all these trading systems and routes and everything all over the world. So once agriculture developed and they started to see, the animals, the birds and the bees, they figured out that men have played a part in paternity and, making of a child with the penis and all, the phallic symbol. So that's how they kind of and then once they figured out, Earth, they have a power through agriculture. They have conquered, the plants and nature basically. And then once they found out about fatherhood, the matriarchy went to hell after that. But anyways, but you see what, and then I guess the priests overthrew the priestess of Kemet in some part along there, and they overthrew the mother goddess, the black mother goddess, and she kind of did a curse on them, saying that you overthrew me, now you're going to suffer forever. And I think that's what's going on now. And you come in full circle. So us sister girls, black women worldwide need to get back to the matriarchy and quit chasing these men and going after patriarchy like they're the boss when they're not the boss. I mean, sorry, I don't even like to use that word boss. They're not the sinner. The black woman is the sinner. She has the mitochondrial DNA. You can only get that from her. The other races don't have it. They try to say they do, but they don't. But anyways, I'm saying all this because I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody else, because I know it don't matter what we tell them, they're going to hate us regardless. They ain't going to like us regardless. And I know you may not agree with me. And I don't think it's about, it's like a business. They have to keep us on the bottom in order for them to stay prosperous psychologically, and even also on a, resource matter, as far as resources, diamonds, woods, land, they always have to keep us on the bottom. And the black woman is the greatest threat because she was the first on the earth, contrary to what all those other religious books say. It's not true. She was the first. She was the first mathematician. She was the first astrologer, doctors, all this stuff comes from her. And they know how powerful she is. That's why they're always making up all these controlling images of us as a mammy, a big woman. They love everybody. Flipping pancakes and all this, or either a Jezebel, the big hoe, You know, they still got that going on now with the hoe and the rapping and the shaking the booties and twerking and always making the black woman out to be a hoe. And some of them, to do that, they would think they have internalized all these controlling images and feel that they are the hoe. And that's the way to get attention. That's the way to be on top when it's not. When you're a holy, 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 the first divine mother, she's watching over you and loving you. Just give her a chance. Really get into her. But basically, that's for my sisters. All over the world. Just keep your head up. And, you know, you ain't got to be chasing none of these men, girl. You it. You are the thing. You don't have to worry about any of them women, you know, other women, other races. You it, child. You was the first one on this planet. Is, you know, you just be you. That's all you got to do is be you. Because once you find out who you are, who you really, really are, a child of the Most High Goddess, the great black mama of the universe, of the galaxies and all that. That's who you came out of. She made you first before anybody. Okay, so you have no reason to hold your head down low, paste anybody's hair, glue somebody's hair on your head. You know, but if you want to, like, you know, it's like when some people wear furs and coats and stuff. They kill animals and wear fur coats and leather shoes and wear them. So if you want to scalp some woman with straight hair in Eurasia and wear it on your head, it's just the same thing, I guess. Scalp an animal and put it on your head. And not saying, you know, that they're animals, but I'm saying the same concept. So, yeah. So just be vegan, plant-based, fruitarian. My fruitarian diet is going good. I'm trying to be 100%. Doing pretty good. Few slips up here and there. And somebody made a comment to me saying that as old as I am, I don't have much time left to live, that I might as well go on and eat meat. And my message to you, baby, just because you're young, it doesn't mean that you're going to live a long time, especially if you eat all that other high-fat foods. You know, I can't say whether you're going to live, but you said that to me, so I'm going to have to tell you right back. You don't determine when I'm going to live or when I'm going to die, okay? Okay? So just stay off my page and stop saying all that negative stuff. But anyways, I wish you, excuse me. Sorry, what did I have to eat today? I had some bananas, a blueberry smoothie. Oh yeah, and what you call them, golden melons. Had one of those today. That was really good, nice and sweet. Nice and sweet. So I hope y'all eating all your fruits everywhere. Stay away from all animal products and just trying to eat as much fruit as you possibly can. Fresh, raw, organic fruit if you can. You know, that's the best thing I can say. But anyways, what else do I have to say? Yeah, stay happy. Keep laughing no matter what. I know it's hard. There's a lot of crazy folks out there doing a lot of weird stuff. That's because they're eating all the animal fats and fast food and all the junk food that's been created by the empire, by the settler empire, because all they think about, very individualistic. Remember I told you that's coming from the Arctic. All they think about is themselves, self. So they don't care who they hurt, and they are very materialistic, and they'll sell you anything. They'll sell a mama. We know they'll sell your mama. And so anyways, try to stay away from all that fast food, junk food, you know, canned stuff. Just try to eat raw, organic fruits if you can. And, you know, stay away from the all animal, bacon, eggs, sausage, ham hocks, chitlins, greens, steaks, and eggs, and potatoes. Just eat fresh fruits, bananas, pineapples, mangoes, watermelon. What else? Watermelon, papaya. Oh, guava, you know, tomato, that's a fruit. Eggplant, that's a fruit. Olives, that's a fruit. Anything with a seed in it. What's the other one? Cucumbers. Oh, baby, you can just squash, pumpkins, all these wonderful fruits that you can eat. Have all these great recipes. Or you can just eat it. You don't have to have nothing special like a blender and all. Just cut it up, eat it, and, you know, let that be. Stay away from the salt, you know, the oils and the sugars, you know. And, you know, pretty much when you become that, then we're going to put the hospitals out of business and the pharmaceutical companies out of business. I'm telling you, you put them out of business. Anyways, my teeth look pretty good, don't they? Got a few missing teeth. But I'm working on that. But main thing, I don't lose no more. That's one, no more cavities. Stay away from that sugar. That's when you have a sugar addiction, you know. But yeah, that's all I got to say. And just I'm trying to stay involved, y'all. I'm sorry. You know, old school, trying to learn all this new technology. But I'm learning it little by little, different things going on. I'm trying to say what in conclusion. Well, where did I write that at? In conclusion, basically, yeah, I'm going to read my conclusion here. In conclusion, Diop's two-cradle theory explains the type of barbarian civilization we are now currently dealing with, you know, worldwide, globally. But here in the U.S., since we're in the belly of the beast and they made so much money off our ancestors, as far as with the cotton was king and all that free labor that made them all rich, now they all saying, well, the individuals, I didn't have anything to do with it. But you got the money, though, don't you? You got that money, don't you? You know, when they say stuff like that, I think about, that's like somebody come in a house and rob the house and make the people slaves and beat them all up and throw them down in the basement somewhere. And then the person down the street come up and hear about it. Oh, man, what you hear about it? And then they go in there and they didn't have nothing to do it directly with the beating of it, but they come to the house and get a room, you know. And that's what I say about all the people that were immigrants. So, well, I came from Europe. I came from here. I came from there. I came from Mexico. I came from where. We didn't have nothing to do with that, but you got a room in the house where all the torture was going on, and you knew that was going on when you came. So you're accessory to the crime. You know, just like when you steal something or somebody drives up into a bank and you in the car, somebody's in the car waiting, and they go in and they come out and get in the car and you're the driver. Well, it's the same thing. You the driver, baby. You accessory to the crime. So you can't get off the hook that way. They need to pay us our reparation, but that's not the end of it all. The end of it all would be to just turn and be a fruitarian. We need reparations too, so we can get those organic fruits and plant those beautiful trees in our backyard. We do need that reparation. So you're not going to get off the hook because there's a thing called karma in the United States, and all of these people that participated and that are still participating and reaping the benefits of all this free labor are going to have to pay a price, whether you like it or not. It's called karma. You can't get around that. I mean, you have some people say we need to forgive and forget. Well, yeah, they do. You know, y'all go over there and let me get your check. I'll take it. Since you don't want it, I'll take it. All right. But no, they're going to have to pay for what has been done. There's no way around it. I don't know how you're going to pay for it. Yes, you're responsible for your father's and mother's sins. Yeah, because you reap the benefits, because your wealth is 10 times that of the African American. You have 10 times the wealth. We make 10,000. You make what? 100,000 on the cheap end. You know, you got all the advantages, and we have none of them. And I know you make up a lot of stuff saying we got this and we got that when we don't. Okay, so what the world needs now is love, love, love. And if you really love us so much and you want to be forgiven, just give us our reparations, and then we can just love and forget it all. Okay? Start all over. But yeah, also, even though that is a good gesture, but still, the real thing is that we need a new system. This system here you can't fix this. Like I said before, there's no way you can patch this shit up. You can't patch it up. They always talk about this reform on this and reform on that and reform this. And we're going to change that. No, because you can't. Because of the environments they come from, they're very deceptive. They have this xenophobia and this ethnocentricity and this individualism and all this nomadism is built into them. It's in their DNA. Nothing they can do about it. They can verbally tell you that. They can put on a smiling face. They can marry you. They can have kids with you. They can F you 24/7, day and night. That ain't going to change them, honey. I'm telling you. The research tells it. It's not nothing I said. It's the research. It's documented in the research. All you got to do is look at the research. This situation can't change. The ice people is the ice people. They're going to be that way. There's nothing you can do about it. Well, I hate to tell it to you. I mean, it's, even if they be vegan, or fruitarian, I don't think so. No, because look at it like this. They want to be fruitarian. They want to be world peace and all this stuff. Nah, I don't think it's going to work. Not with them, it's just not. Because everything they do, they have a motive for it, and they always very deceptive, you know. And I know it's not all, but it's so many, nothing you can do. Just like I think it was Muhammad Ali said that once, that if you got a whole yard full of snakes and there's 2 snakes that's liking you, that you're in big trouble. But anyways, divisiveness or whatever, we already divided. They make 10 times the wealth that we do. They got all the stuff. They own all the land. How much divided can you get? Ask them to give back the land. Will they give it back to you freely? No. So what we need is a brand new system. Probably one of communalism, female-centered, egalitarianism, teamwork between men and women, and all people, and just forget all this capitalism and individualism and, competition and warring back and forth, because it's not natural. That's why the world is on the brink of extinction, because of that mentality from the ice, which they have come in hordes, with their violence and their superior weapons. That was the main thing, how they conquered us. They had superior weapons, and the Kemetic kings fought them for 20 centuries. Can you imagine fighting somebody for 20 damn centuries? And so they kept them off of them, but then they started to go internally. That's what they do now with this, we are the world, and let's forgive, and they want to marry you, and they say all these little things and all this, and you want to date them. Now they internally trying to attack you, to break up the families, and divide the black men from black women. And I know everybody don't call me no mammy and no this and that. This is what I'm dissecting, Now, if you fall prey to that, then okay. You start attacking your own kind and you believe it. And a lot of people have been brainwashed, and they'll go for it because they don't have the knowledge and they're too damn lazy to do the research. Yes, I said you're too damn lazy to do the research, but that's okay. I'll do it for you. It's no problem. I'll do it for you, and I'll give it to you. And I'll help you any way you want me to help you. Now, as far as, I don't know, anybody come saying some hate stuff. No, I don't hate nobody. I do not hate anyone. I love myself, and I love the image of myself when I look in the mirror. Wrinkles and all, for that smart guy comment. I don't mind being old, because the alternative is 6 feet under. And sooner or later we all have to go there, no matter what kind of diet you have. But in the meantime, let's try to be peaceful and get along with each other here, especially us melanated people. This is who I'm talking to. We need to get along with each other, as best we can, to stop all this bickering and fighting and blaming and pointing the fingers. I mean, yeah, you can blame and point the fingers. I know you get mad and angry with each other. The reason you attack each other is because you can't attack your real enemy. You feel overpowered by them. You feel scared of them. You know you're going to get your daily bread from them. You know you get your job from them. You know everything, they got that on lockdown. So they're kind of like, kind of like a dog. Even having a pet is oppressive. And I read about that. I was thinking, I never thought about it, because I got a dog from somebody. I didn't buy it, but they was treating the dog so bad. I said, well, I'll take it. And they gave it to me. But then I was doing the research about animals, because people that have pets, basically it's an ego thing and a status thing, because you think about it. You're taking this pet away from his family, his mother, its species, and you're making him a slave in there. You're going to train him. You're going to feed them certain foods. You got to keep them locked up in the apartment or house that you're in. And then you got the service animals. I had this one lady around me that was a service animal. Oh, God. She wouldn't let nobody touch the animal. And then see the other dog. She kept him away from other dogs. I said, you keep him away from his people. It's like he's a slave. You're going to make him a slave because you crazy? Go get help. Why you going to make the dog your service animal because you crazy? Goddamn. Or you need mental health problems, go see a psychiatrist and deal with it. Or go do some yoga or whatever, a naturopathic doctor or whatever. Why are you carrying this animal around, keeping him as a slave? And I was thinking, oh, God. Now I got this pet I have, and I like the dog. He's a sweet dog, but I'm thinking like, say, is it my ego now? Is it, am I keeping this dog in captivity? Is he keeping me in captivity? Now I got to find... when I get ready to go somewhere, I either take him with me or find a pet sitter. I said, now, he keeping me in chain like I'm, damn. So I understand it. It's pretty illegal to have pets. It really is. It really is. I don't know. whatever. There's so much crap in the system. It's so messed up. Ain't no way. That's what I said. There's no way you can patch this stuff up. You just can't. You're going to have to tear it all down and start from scratch. It's just like you made a big old cake or something and it's lopsided. Once that cake is made, you can't make it straight. You can't make it taste good. You can just throw it away and start all over. So that's what I say. The solution, we just need to throw away the system and start all over, folks. And as far as Republican and Democrat folks, no, we just, us melanated people, Aboriginal people, we need to have our own party. Now, how is that going to work? I don't know. I don't know how that would work. But anyways, now, so yes, let's be plant-based. Let's be fruitarians, vegan. Well, I don't even like to use that word, vegan. Plant-based, first world. Let's have a matriarchal diet, the gardener's diet that came from our people before we were invaded by these colorless, pale people from the mountains, from the desert, from the Arctic, who come and enslaved us and taken us to the every ends of the earth to work for them for free, and then they turn around and call us lazy, good for nothing criminals. Well, who's the real criminals? Because, you know, during the slave trade and all this other stuff, they said approximately 300 million Africans or native African people, Aboriginal people died. 300 million. That's the estimation. So it's probably more. Oh, God. I'm getting crazy now. I'm not saying crazy, but I'm just thinking like, oh, man. How are you going to listen to the abuser telling us to be plant-based? You're the one that's done caused all this environmental diverse bio non-diversity. When you have taken all the plants, the animals coming extinct. So many plants are coming extinct, cutting down the trees to buy all this expensive wood. We don't use it. We ain't got the money to buy it. You the one that's buying it. And now they come and tell us, we're environmental. We care for the environment. No. You don't care about that. You're trying to make a profit out of that. All them vegan companies are all white. They ain't black. They started them. No, I'm not bitter. Don't say I'm bitter. I'm a very happy person. Okay, I'm very happy. Very thrilled to be here. But I think that's because of the grace of God that I'm here. Oh, excuse me. I guess I'm talking too much. But anyways, all I can say is that, this thing called racism, white supremacy, it's not going anywhere because, number one, they benefit from it. So how are you going to have allies? That's another thing, talking about allies. We're your allies. We're going to be allies. How are you going to be an ally when if things go right, you lose all your stuff? You lose all your goodies. You lose all your all the marbles. I know you don't want to share none of them because you would have done so by now, or you wouldn't have done it in the first place. But anyways, that's all I have to say today. I guess I might be ranting here or something like that. But main thing I want to say is, I'm here to bring you some good information. And pretty soon I'll have it all in a little packet for you. And then you can, have it available to you. But in the meantime, just think positive. Look up. Keep looking up. Because we were supposed to be extinct a long time ago. But our ancestors and the most high gods, goddesses, the great mother goddess of the universe of all existence is watching over us. I know millions of us have died. And millions more probably will die, but if we could just understand that we are the same people, that been through this, that everybody makes money off of, and exploits, and copy everything we do and claim it as their own, and but don't give up. Keep your head up, keep a smile on your face, and know that when you die, you don't really die. You just turn into another form of energy, on and on, somewhere in the galaxy or wherever. Of course, I don't know that. I haven't died, and nobody knows that. They haven't died and come back and been a witness. But I think our ancient ancestors, since they were so close to the earth at that time, it was the very beginning of the earth, I believe that the spirits were close to them, and they hadn't been invaded and conquered and enslaved to lose who they really were. So they was really working out of them their own energies, and the spirits was around them everywhere. And they was the spirit was them. They were one with all. So, anyways, thank you for tuning in, folks. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to me. It wasn't a rant. I mean, it could have sounded like one, but I just had to share that with you. And no, I'm not holding any grudges. No, I don't have any beefs, but I should be. Like James Baldwin said, that any black person, I'm going to say black, Negro, colored, Aboriginal person that's not angry, and when you look at our history and what's been done to us, not just in America for 500 years, and we're talking about ever since they came out of them caves, out of that ice age. The world has never been the same, especially in the southern hemisphere, like India and all down there, black areas now, the way they treat the people down there, them white-skinned Indians, ooh, and they over here in America too. Oh, Lord. When you go to CVS, no, not CVS, the corner stores and all that, the way they nasty, how they are, turning up their noses and looking at you and, like you a piece of garbage. You see where they got that from? That shit is very much alive, very much alive. That's what everything is based on. And what's that chick's name that wrote that book called Hierarchy? I ain't read a book yet, but the way they talked about that book, girl, she's trying to make it just seem like we're in a hierarchy. But yeah, talking about in India. But it was based on color, skin color, Varna, Varna, means skin or color. Okay? So, they just tell us anything because they know a lot of people are lazy. People are lazy. They got their little computers now and their little things that they just look at. Baby, you got to go deeper than that. Because these people want to keep us real crazy, real confused, because we know the whole thing of entertainment is just to keep you diverted and not thinking about your reality so that you can get together with your brothers and sisters and make a new system that's to your advantage, that helps you, that saves the planet so that all the animals don't die and all the plants don't get died. Everything is dying because of this system and the people who dominate and run it, who are so superior and have all these high IQs and are so civilized, right? Well, anyways, my brothers, y'all need to clean up your act now and quit hating on black women. Don't come at us for your frustrations. You need to go to the real enemy. Don't come for us, okay? Go to the real enemies, man up, fight your real enemies. We're not your enemies. And sisters, know that you are the utmost important and highest. You are the woman of the world. You have the mitochondrial DNA, the goddess, the great mother, the creator made you first. And you don't have to feel bad about anybody or trying to copy anybody to be somebody else. You are the best. You are the greatest. So you don't have to compete against other women for nothing, okay? Just be yourself. Just be yourself and be better than you were yesterday. That's the only person that you need to compete with is yourself. You don't have to compete against your other sisters that look like you. You just have to compete against yourself to be better than you were yesterday. That's it. No competition. You ain't got to be fighting for these men out here and fighting each other over that. Or fighting for opportunities. Or fighting for this. Just be yourself. Because when you be yourself and believe in yourself and love what you see in the mirror and appreciate who you are and be who you really are and listen to the great mother when she's talking to you, everything is going to be all right. But you got to fight for it. Peace. Like Fred Hampton says, peace, but you have to fight for it. And when you say fight for it, that means be your best. Be your best. Do your best. Be better than you were yesterday. Okay, remember, eat those mangoes, eat those pineapples, eat those, what else? Blueberries and watermelon and all kind of melons and peaches and plums. Do that. Be peaceful. Do your meditation. Put on your oils and coconut oils and all these kind of beautiful things. Take your bath and incense and everything. Don't worry about these men, honey. You the best. You the best. They'll come to you if that's what you want. Whatever. You ain't got to chase them. You ain't got to worry about them. Seriously, seriously, seriously. Remember, I love me, you love you, we love each other, okay? We all be friends. We don't have to be competition with each other over silly stuff, okay? Dumb stuff. It doesn't matter. It's worthless. Okay? Keep your head up, keep your spirits up. And remember, subscribe, share. You can give me your opinion of what you think. If you think what I'm talking about is trash, whatever. If you think what I'm talking about is rocket science, let me know in the comments below. And once again, I thank you very much for tuning in. I try not to go off on random. I do have a script here that I'm going by, but somehow I get off on the spirit just takes over and I just don't know what to do. But anyways, I love you. I love me. I love being in the world. I'm glad, be thankful that I have my health, my fingers and my skin and all my cells. My heart is beating. I can breathe. I can talk, walk, say hello to the world, everything. Thank you for tuning in. More Holistics. Give me a thumbs up. Okay, family. Thank you very much.